Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Delaney, you made it back home. Congratulations.
Her car is now running.
Experience. Lance, good to see you. Hey, we have a background. I love it, Lance.
Absolutely, and incredible breaking news going on too.
We do. And Joseph is live from Indianapolis. Let's see. So Katie, Delaney's not talking because I know another dollar in the pot. Because you're under tornado warnings, or is it a test? Turn it on. I want to hear it.
They test it every week, so just a 4-minute long test.
I don't hear it. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a ton of news. Okay, let's start with Indianapolis. Joseph, what's going on?
The jury's out currently. I went this morning, and the Judge Pratt gave all the detailed instructions on what the jurors have to do. There's 13 counts. Carrie has 5. Kelly has 3. Nicole has 3. And Chad and Matt have 1 each. So they started at 9:30. I am on a list for our media and counsel that we're going to get an email sometime this afternoon, hopefully. And I'll be heading back to the courthouse for the verdict. So that's where we are right now.
How much time did they give you on that email? What is it?
All the lawyers are across the street or are in the downtown area. She told the judge, instructed all of us to stay within 10 or 15-minute walk. So once I get that email, I'll head right over. But I'm a 2-minute walk from the courthouse. So
Joseph,
we'll go over and set up and go ahead.
What did the judge tell the lawyers outside of the jury?
Did I tell you something earlier? I don't know what you're.
Yeah, you were talking about the instructions and what the judge thought how long this would take. Oh
yeah, so she said that they did request lunch, so that's a 2-hour process at least. So she did expect, once the jury left late afternoon at around 5 p.m. yesterday, she did expect the trial to be over today.
Wow.
So it's hard to put a time limit on a deliberation, but she is hopeful that we can have a verdict this afternoon. So.
And what can we read in the tea leaves for her statement, Joseph?
Meaning the counts, or I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, why does she think it's going to become? Why does she think the jury will come back with a quick verdict?
Frankly, she said she's seen cases like this and it's quick. That the defense didn't have any witnesses that they brought onto the stand. The government's case was pretty solid with all the evidence. So I don't know for a fact. I'm definitely not going to make any assumptions on whether all 5 are guilty or innocent. But she seems to think that the jury should have all the information to have a full day deliberation, but a verdict within a shorter time frame than expected. So.
Well, let me pull it out of you, Joseph. You and I talked, and you think it will not be unanimous. You think it may be. You don't have to name names, but you think it's going to be split. Some people will receive a not guilty verdict, in your opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Carrie, out of the 5 counts, I think she will be facing charges and a guilty on one of those 5 counts. Kelly, I listed them all for everyone, will definitely get one. In my opinion, the 3, Nicole is really the big question mark because she was the employee. And a lot of people have sympathy for that. And Chad and each facing 1 count, Chad and Matt. The deal with Matt is that he left the company in 2005. Statute of limitations say that it has to be within 10 years, so that goes back to 2009. He left Bankster 4 years prior to that. So the judge mentioned that it was difficult to even decide whether Matt should even be dismissed. So it's going to be a very fascinating verdict. It's been a great week. I know Delaney was out here all last week, and it's been a great trial. So
Delaney, let's get Delaney in the conversation. Delaney, do you agree with Joseph's assessment? What do you think?
Yes, I definitely do. I definitely agree Carrie and Kelly will most likely come out with one charge at least. Nicole is a hard one. I'm thinking she will come out free, but like you said, she was the employee. She was a pawn. Her name's on all the evidence, but she was obviously working under Kelly and Carrie's instruction, and they made that very clear throughout the trial. Matt, I have been very on the fence. For sure. I still don't know. I'll be really interested to see. Having sat there and listened to the whole trial, I still don't know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So Joseph, so you are on a short time leash. You may get that at any time. And then what are your plans? You're going to leave. You're going to be there tomorrow, or are you going to leave tonight?
That's
when you come
the
home?
thing. If we don't get the notification today, then I'll be here tomorrow. I mean, I'm staying for the verdict. So I was told a month ago that the trial was going to last 10 days, and then so I was already booked through Friday, but I imagine we're going to have an answer today. So.
All right, well, we're up to date. This other big news, Lance. Something has gone live, and tell us what's going on with the PPP portal.
Well, the direct forgiveness portal is currently open. If you are a PPP lender and you opted in, you probably ought to click on the direct forgiveness submissions button on the left-hand side of the SBA forgiveness platform or the SBA platform, because they are populating forgiveness applications at a pretty intense level. We were able to pilot the direct forgiveness application process with several of our customers. It is a very simple process for the PPP borrower. We were able to make some recommendations that they implemented it in the direct forgiveness portal that made it even easier for a borrower to submit for forgiveness. And I shared with the group, I've already been able to approve more than 100 applications since the portal went live. So, if you opted in to direct forgiveness, and if you are a PPP lender, you need to go to your SBA portal and click on the direct forgiveness submissions button on the left-hand side down toward the bottom, and you're probably going to see a number of applications populated ready for approval. Now, you can look at those one at a time. You also have the option to do a bulk approval. You can click on it, look at them, and look at several because, I've had a page populated. I had, when I first clicked on it, 30 sitting there ready. Did a quick review of those, and you can click on a box on the left-hand side of each forgiveness submission, and you can bulk approve after you review those. So the direct forgiveness portal was supposed to go live later today, but after the final pilot we did at 12 noon Eastern time, the developer said we're getting ready to go live. And Bob, it was crazy because he said we're getting ready to go live. I went and got a glass of water, and I stopped to use the restroom, and I came back and clicked my direct forgiveness decisions, and I had 30 or 40 sitting in there in a matter of minutes. And I cleaned it out before the call, and I'm clicking the button right now, and I have a total of 37 sitting there as we speak that have populated since the Coleman Report live show started. So it's going to be, it is a slick process, guys. The PPP borrower doesn't even have to have their PPP loan number. They just have to have the email address they used on the application as well as the loan amount. And with those two pieces of information, it will find their PPP loan. It auto-populates probably 95% of the application. They answer 3 or 4 questions. They e-sign it, and it comes to the lender for a decision. The other thing that's slick about this is the forgiveness letters, Bob. Once they submit, they get an email that says it's been submitted to the bank. Once the bank approves, they get an email that says that the bank has approved. Once SBA approves, they get an email that says SBA has approved, and they will be able to download, PPP borrowers will be able to download their own forgiveness letter, which is a great thing. So very slick. If you have not opted in, I have had the opportunity to pilot with several customers. It's very easy for customers to use. The forgiveness process is really simple. I'm not going to tell you that you have to do it, but I strongly encourage you, if your institution is not opted in, to do so, because it's going to help us get through PPP forgiveness pretty quickly on those loans under $150,000.
Lance, you said you have a huge staff helping you with this. What are you doing as a best practice as a lender? Are you simply going in and rubber stamping this, or is someone taking a look at it and doing a lender recommendation?
Bob, first of all, on the simple forgiveness, we rely on the borrower certifications. So I'm cross-checking the loan amount, the forgiveness amount, taking a quick scan of the application, and I'm approving. Again, on the simple forgiveness, we rely on borrower certifications.
Remind us, Lance, how much is that again? What's the threshold?
150 and under. So again, based on the pace that I'm seeing, Bob, the customers were ready. The PPP borrowers were ready. Now, we helped, our group, Fountainhead, sent out an email to all of our customers with a PPP loan under 150 and said, hey, the direct forgiveness portal is open tomorrow. They obviously read that email and took it to heart, because as soon as it opened, we started getting a significant population of forgiveness requests.
What do you do for loans over 150, Lance?
We still have a platform that we process loans over 150. It is the same platform that we used up to this point, and we'll continue to use that for our loans over 150.
Which means, can you elaborate?
Well, our platform is pretty similar to the direct forgiveness platform, but on the loans over 150, there will be the requirement in some cases to upload documentation. Now, we've all heard about the COVID revenue reduction score. It's really cool, Bob. When the borrower puts their information in and populates the basic information, it comes up and it says, you know, your score is adequate and no documentation required. And it won't let them proceed unless the score meets the mark. So I thought it was very slick how it does that, Bob, because it's as soon as they put their loan amount and their email address, it populates their loan. They put a little information about their company in, and then it pops up and says your score meets the mark, and no document.
What percentage of the applications meet that mark? Do you have enough of a
so
sample?
far, Bob, so far 100%.
Okay, good.
I've not seen one that didn't meet, and I know there'll be some, Bob, but you know, in most cases they are meeting. When we were doing the pilot, I was a little anxious, Bob, that I had maybe picked a customer to participate that, you know, might not meet the score, and it throw you know, a fly in the ointment. But all customers that I picked for the pilot met the score, and again, I'm just blown away by how quickly I've already done more than 100 approvals, Bob, since about I'm going to say 30-40 minutes ago.
Wow. Delaney brought up this chart. First of all, Delaney, what is your source of data?
SBA finally released some updated PPP data on Friday. We've been waiting for a few months now, so I was so excited to find that.
Of the 11.4 million, are those 1 and 2 draws? Is this combined? Are these combined
Yes, this would
numbers?
be 2020 and 2021 PPP loans.
And
So,
my
go ahead, Lance.
my take on 2020, Bob, from what I'm hearing and where we're at, most lenders are somewhere around 90% on 2020. And I got to be honest with you, our 2020 borrowers will jump in and use the direct portal as well. So 2020 is not done, but it's winding down.
Lance, I have a question for you. And that is, there was an article in the paper here in Southern California about a restaurant owner who is one of those on the fringes. And he's saying, I got my money. I'm not doing nothing else. He was open during the pandemic. He was fined. He may lose his liquor license. But he's saying, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not doing any paperwork. I'm not doing anything. What do you do with that type of borrower, Lance?
That borrower will receive a statement to begin payments very shortly, Bob, and have to pay the loan out either on a 2 or 5 year term, or the borrower would have the option of returning the money plus the 1% interest to clear it. But if they're not willing, if they don't want to pay the entire loan off, they'll start receiving payment statements for repayment of that loan.
Do you do anything special on this? I mean, he's obviously very adamant. He's not complying with anybody on liquor licenses and compliance or whatever. Would you do anything special on this in documenting the file, or do you just say, hey, because obviously he's not going to make the payments?
Well, we're going to send payment statements, and after he, if he chooses not to make 2 payments, we're going to submit for guarantee purchase.
Okay, all right. So I guess what I'm asking is, based on that article, would you clip it and send it in to someone, or just?
It's, he has not committed fraud, Bob.
Right.
Per se.
Just
He's just choosing not to submit for forgiveness.
Yeah, he's open. I mean, he's open. He's got employees. We don't know what the numbers are, but obviously you're right. He's just
Now I have no idea why somebody would not submit for forgiveness, Bob. It is such an incredibly simple process, especially on these loans in the direct portal. Have no idea why they wouldn't submit for forgiveness.
He's not playing nicely. Okay, tell us, so real quick percentages. It looks like we got almost half of the loans applied for forgiveness. Delaney, do we know of those that have applied, how many have been forgiven? Oh, there it is on the bottom line. So give me those numbers. So, okay, about 441 billion with a B out of 791 billion with a B. So we forgive it if my math is a little over, I'm going to say, what, 55%, almost we're pushing 60%, Lance?
That is correct, Bob. And I think these numbers are going to take off and really move quickly. Again, I just clicked on my portal again. So the time I last told you, another 16 populated. So it's, again, if you're a participant lender and you have not clicked on your direct forgiveness submissions, if you opted in, you need to go do that, because there's going to be plenty to do.
Election night counting votes. We have to update these numbers. Click, click, click.
And Bob, it's crazy. It's after going through the pilot test with customers and then seeing this work, it's incredible. It was money well spent by SBA.
136 million, and you're saying good for them. Is that what you're saying, Lance?
I'm saying, Bob, this quite often you see things that portals and things that are developed that work, that don't work real well. I have witnessed customers using this. I have done forgiveness. I'm watching the pace. Again, I had another 14 just populate in the last few seconds. Customers are obviously embracing this. And again, you don't have to use the direct portal, guys, but I encourage it.
Lance, let's conclude the show with, how do I opt in for the portal? What do I have to do?
You go into your SBA platform and you go on your left-hand side and scroll to the bottom to institution settings. And in institution settings at the top, it'll have a box you can check for opting in. There's a couple of pieces of information that you'll have to add at the bottom, like an email contact, and you can opt in. But, you know, I'm just going to tell you guys, if you've got quite a few PPP loans that still need forgiven that are under 150, and if you did PPP loans in 2021, the answer is yes, you will have those. Opting in, I think, is a great thing. And you know, everybody's apprehensive, Bob, and I'll shut up after this. Everybody's apprehensive about something new until they see it work. Guys, I have witnessed it. It works well. Now, Bob, I'm not saying the thing might crash, because there are millions of people and the pace is incredible. But if this works well, so again, as a participant lender, I encourage you to get in, opt in, and take advantage of this.
Well, very good. Joseph, if something hits today, obviously we will do a blast.
Absolutely.
I'm not as optimistic as you. So we'll do that, and we'll good reporting. Lance, thank you for your insights. Delaney, glad you are back home and the Sexton Mobile is working well.
Yes, me too. Me too.
We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining us today for Coleman Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.
Have a great day.